I think that might be most engineers, but when it comes to troubleshooting, stuff like that, it just sticks in my brain. I can't not think about it until it's resolved. 6 years in the military working on a 60-year-old ship, you learn to love troubleshooting and solving complex problems, hard to solve problems. I gotta make sure I hit all the industries because we're like in 20 million different industries. Yeah. Like, we're in literally everything. Here at Benchmark, we meet a wide variety of customers that vary in complexity, where they are in the project, and we have to come in and be adaptable and meet their needs where they're at. Sometimes they are halfway through the design and just need us help kicking it over to manufacturing. Sometimes they come to us with a little napkin drawing and we have to get it to manufacturing. Personally, I'm very driven by efficiency, maybe due to my military background. I want to find the most efficient way to move through a project for the customer so they get what they want in the fastest amount of time with the least amount of mistakes, potentially at the lowest cost. It's the three pillars that every customer comes to us with: faster, cheaper, and more reliable. If we can find more efficient ways to work through our process, we can come closer and closer to achieving those three things. We can't stay stagnant in how we operate. We have to keep looking at what we do well and stick to those core things, but also look to innovate and upgrade our processes with new technologies to make sure we are ready to meet the new challenges from these customers.
Yeah, so what I did is really all up in the upper right-hand corner. This is our part request flow on the whole.
But the biggest benefit, at least having it directly in Altium and working on Altium, at least in here, if it's gone through your workflows, we can see it's in the reviewed state and it's ready to be produced. If anything's in the draft state, it's a nice double check before we build something. We actually came together as a group. We had 3 separate engineering groups within North America. So we started looking into collaborative tools to help us communicate better over different geographical locations.
We'd been working to try to find a better solution than what we had, just so we could have direct cross work between electrical and mechanical, which we just didn't have at the time.
As a third-party engineer, we use multiple CAD tools. We have to stay on the forefront of all those CAD tools and make sure we know what these tools do to offer them to the customer as additional value. Altium 365 integration was a natural extension of what we've been doing for years working with Altium. We use Altium, I think, for the last 6+ years, but we've had customers come in looking for some of the new features that Altium had been using. So with that, we've had to learn and adapt into some of the new features like multi-board, A365, the online platform, as well as harness design. One of our CAD tools we have is Altium. There's new features that could bring in some early collaboration between our sites.
Okay.
For example, there's online views. So if we are designing a board without you actually needing a license, you can access the files and look at the files.
I think that'd be great.
The camera's only forward facing. Okay. The LiDAR is 360 degrees.
Okay, yeah.
So as you walk around, that's actually, if you saw the flat wall,
Yeah.
it was actually picking up that wall.
Okay.
And you were on that side of it. Yeah.
That was really designed to transfer materials to our production and manufacturing lines, where it could be loaded up with the materials required and delivered to different stations.
We wanted to use it as a way to develop and showcase our capabilities based on what we've been seeing from customer requests. We presented that to our leadership group, Jan Janik, and he got very, very excited about it. We have an internal conference that we have every year. He wanted us to showcase that in 6 months from when we proposed this at that conference. So we had 6 months to design from scratch, have software and mechanical design, and build and present it on stage with no errors.
Mark 1 was kind of the pilot project for us here at Benchmark that was truly collaborative using a tool like Altium. It's kind of the first time we all knew exactly what was going on in every part of the design throughout the entire project.
It took away that barrier of having to go message somebody, say, hey, do I have the latest schematics? Are you guys working on anything that's going to go in there? What if I need to provide feedback? Where can I put that? Having Altium 365 gives me that one place to go to.
We tried to utilize Altium to its fullest extent so we can actually understand its capabilities.
It was absolutely the most efficient way, and it saved a lot of time, even though we were going through the learning pains of learning a new software program.
There's also additional options to now actually comment on the board. If something is really critical, a real issue, you can comment our board as we're designing it on the layout and say, this has to be moved X amount of distance.
Perfect. No, I think that'd be great because there's so many different things that go into a board where I think you really do need different people's input. The pick and place is something that I don't really do.
So you need the right people reviewing the right things for the right part.
That's where you need everyone's collaboration.
Having collaboration from electrical engineer to design engineer to manufacturing through DFM and direct conversations is the best way to have things be cohesive and streamlined to the best extent.
Coming up to the conference itself was pretty hectic around here. Everybody was running around.
There was a lot of practice, walkthroughs with Jan for verbal cues, actions with the face to make sure it reacts on time, going from point A to point B.
During the segment where they drove the robot out, every single second I was just expecting a wheel to fall off or the robot to go haywire and drive off the stage.
Mark 1, welcome to Ignite.
Jan, I am glad to be part of the energy of the team.
It went fantastic. I love taking something from concept to the finish line. There's lots of variety in what we do here. One year I can be working on something in space and defense. One year I can work on something in telco. Another I can be working in medical. It's so diverse, I'm never bored.